And we are about to go live. Coming to you live from, let's see. All right. And we are live. All right, guys. This is Wall Street Sizing Up. You have found the channel, Wall Street Sizing Up. Today's trader news is what we're talking about. It has been a big day. It has been a day that maybe it has made history. We thought yesterday was making history. Today, maybe even more history was made. So today, so if you don't know what today's trader news is, essentially it's all the business news you won't see on CNBC. Now, some you will, but essentially it's the price targets, it's the earnings report, it's the big movers, it's the crypto market news, the buybacks, forecasts, the new contracts, hirings, etc. Right. So the big news. Well, you know what? Let's hit the markets first. Right. So that's what today's trader news is. Let me go hit the markets so you know what the markets did today and who the heavy hitters were today and who lost out. I think we all know. Dow was up 300. I believe it was up 600 at one point. Nasdaq was over 100 in the day at 66, and the S&P was up 36. So big winners today was Barnwell Industries. That's energy up 206. TGC is Tengasco up 165. Marine Petroleum Trust was up 132 MARPS. Pevco Energy, all these are energy stocks up 100. CPI Camber Energy up 83. In KANG, which is Kango, Internet Content Information, which is not an energy stock, was up 62. The losers, we all know what those were. AMC Express, GameStop, which we're about to talk about these, BlackBerry, Fossil, all down between 50 and 30%. Bed Bath Beyond. Actually, Jill was on there too. So, it does look like American Airlines did go up. I did see some, when I got on Wall Street Bets last night, I did see some information about American Airlines and the short interest there. Essentially, they were just trying to literally bust up these shorts. It's a very good strategy. So let's get into what took place and then my take on it, right? Well, I'm going to talk about the different media and their takes, like Charles Payne, Mark Cuban, Chamath. So Robinhood, Interactive Brokers, TD Ameritrade, WeBull, Fidelity, all of them. And when I mean all of them, I mean all the brokers took drastic steps to limit retail investors' power this morning, right? And I was one of them. In fact, I had an open call. So I made money on the stock. Thank gosh, I still hold some. So if you're watching from Reddit, do not get mad. I still hold some. I don't hold a lot. I don't have those diamond hands, if you would. What these brokers did, they restricted literally the trading volumes. They changed margin requirements, and then essentially, when I was literally using Robinhood, they banned the purchase of the actual stock. Now we're talking about GameStop, we're talking about Express, we're talking about Fossil, we're talking about Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't think I had Fossil, I take that back. But BlackBerry, that's the kind of stocks that we're talking about, the retail stocks that had a lot of short hedge fund interest that Wall Street Bets had a very good strategy to bust up, right? And to profit at the same time. And it just takes me back to the whole, if you watch Suits, and I don't know, a lot of you did, but they used to have this attorney that was a badass attorney on there. His name was Harvey. And Harvey used to say, one of the things was, you can't cry when the other side plays the game, right? Nothing illegal was done, and hedge funds do it all the time. We say it all on the channel. We have one goal. We're sponsored by StockTrade.tips. We have one goal, and that is to help you profit off the hedge funds. Literally the insider knowledge of the hedge funds. And they do. I don't understand where the SEC is, because literally you will see hedge funds on a daily basis go big. they'll go 5, 10 million, 20 million, 50 million into a stock 2 or 3 days before it goes 25 up, 50 up, 75 up, 200 up. Easy, right? So, but when the retail guys do it, So all these, when they were banning the purchase of stocks, you could sell them, but you could not buy them, right? And so clearly that's going to crash them. That's going to crash them. We can see there that AMC and GameStop were both down right around 50%, right? 50% from where they were, right? So I think GameStop is trading at 197. It got as high as 420, 430. Might have gone higher than that. So clearly all were aimed at these stocks that have been short squeezed by retailers seeking advantage of mistakes that were made by Wall Street hedge funds. That's it. The hedge funds left themselves financially vulnerable, right? And the Wall Street bets guys, deep effing value, congrats to him, man. You really changed something. And so we'll talk about who's saying what here in just a second. So after the restrictions were announced, this is where it gets sad. The target stocks crashed. And that costed retail investors billions of dollars. Not millions, billions of dollars. In fact, I saw a stat. I want to say that 90% of all Robinhood traders at least had a share of GameStop. Is that what, if I read that right? I believe I read that. Like literally, it was that many. If it wasn't 90, it was 50, which is still a lot of people, right? I don't know how many users Robinhood has, between 9 and 12 million, maybe more now, right? So you're talking about, 4 to 6 million people that have a share, at least have a share of GameStop that could not buy more to continue the short squeeze, right? So let's take to social media, which was an absolute S show today. With this clown show going on, Twitter was an S show, right? So Charles Payne of Fox, I don't know if you watch him or not, but I don't really watch Fox Business, but I do like the guy. I like his opinions. He tweeted, "Don't call yourself Robinhood if you're going to turn your back on the folks in Sherwood Forest after one phone call from the sheriff of Nottingham." That's right. Robinhood should be renamed Nottingham. Mark Cuban, our Robinhood app and interactive brokers ending trading in Wall Street bet stocks because they are losing on these trades. We all know that. That's what they did. I did see where I believe it was CNBC came out and said that they had lost $70 billion. But what these brokers did was they saved them from losing hundreds of billions of dollars, right? I would still say the GameStop, I still say a lot of these stocks, they're finding shares to cover their shorts to wait this out, right? That's kind of what they're, in fact, that is what they're doing. They can now find shares because stocks have come down. The people have sold, right? There's nothing else you could do. You couldn't, lose your shirt, right? Unless you get the stock at $2. I get the stock at 10, right? But GameStop, I'm still long on. But AMC, So, Chamath Palihapitiya, in the moments of uncertainty, when courage and strength are required, you find who out there are the true corporatist scumbags. Couldn't have said it better myself. So it was a historic day because let me tell you this. We had both sides of the aisle. I'm not a big politics guy, kind of a China hawk a little bit when it comes to stocks. But here's the thing. When you've got AOC and you've got what I saw Don Jr., I saw Ted Cruz, I saw a lot of conservatives, right? They're all coming together and saying the same thing, that we should investigate this. That is a rallying cry. That is a historic moment, especially after the last 5 to 6 years, right? And how divisive that we've gotten in this country, right? And so AOC, this is unacceptable. We now need to know more about Robinhood app's decision to block retail investors from purchasing stock while hedge funds are freely and able to trade stocks as they see fit. So Don Trump Jr. tweeted, it took less than a day for big tech, big government, and corporate media to spring into action and begin colluding to protect the hedge fund buddies on Wall Street. This system is rigged, folks. We've all known that, right? I mean, stocktrade.tips is basically based on that. Like, we give you the information, right, that hedge funds have to file. Now, that stock, 50% of the time, 60% of the time has already pumped and come back down to earth, right? But there are some good stocks out there, and you find some little small cap, mid cap stocks that you can really make some money on that have momentum. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about that the Wall Street Bets guys put on momentum and people jumped on, right? So that community was at about 2 million as of about 2 days ago. Now it's at about 4 million. So if they don't think this is going to happen again, it's going to happen again. You know, even though they got their Discord server turned off, what else? I mean, it's just unbelievable, right? You know, I mean, it is literally robbery at the highest order is what has happened here, right? Hedge funds just couldn't take the loss. They just couldn't take the L. They had to change the rules. It's like adding, you know, like you're losing at a basketball game and you add 10 minutes to the game. You can't do that, man. I mean, they stole from the common man, the retail investor. We don't have billions of dollars. You know, some of us are lucky to have $10, $100, right? Now that's evaporated, right? I couldn't even imagine sitting there with $50,000, $100,000, $500,000 in gains, and all of a sudden just see that poof evaporate after the work they've probably done for. I mean, I think deep effing value. I think that he was doing this since 2019, right? Now I'm sure that he got out and he's got his, you know, his base is probably, you know, $2, $3, whatever it was. So, I mean, and they're doing it in plain sight. You know, I guess the billionaires are the only ones that can make money in this world. Not us little guys. No. You know, they're smarter. They're more elite. They've gone to these great schools. We make more than you. But when we play by the rules and we beat you at your own game, you guys don't lose. You just change the rules. And you change them illegally. And I hope the SEC, I hope Congress really does take this up. I don't know if they will. In times like this in the past, it's been a farce. You know, it really has. So, also, Robinhood, congratulations to you. You just ruined your IPO. Literally, you gutless, nut-licking punks. All right, so let's get to the news. Tesla reported its first profitable year, $721 million of profit on $31 billion of sales. The U.S. economy grew by 4% in Q4. That was actually less than expected. I think it was supposed to grow by 4.5%. So 4%, I still think that's good. Although the quarters before that, we'd lost 30%. So we really need to grow a lot. Mark Cuban, let's talk about him again just real quick. He said in watching the CNBC about the Gamestop stuff, he did say that he thought that stock valuations he was very concerned, and that he has hedged. He has hedged his portfolio and believes that others should do the same. He said low interest rates are basically pumping up stocks, which we all know. Federal Reserve Chairman today, Jerome Powell, if you don't know him, said that he does not see trading with GameStop or others as a relative negative sign for the market. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm kind of bummed about the day, you know? I mean, you finally got a leg up. You've earned some money. I didn't lose a lot, right? to me. But I know in looking at Wall Street Bets, if those guys didn't sell, they lost a lot. American Airlines shares were, I believe, up today. The company actually announced earnings that were better than expected for Q4. Comcast, I believe their shares were up today too. The company did announce their Peacock streaming service, right? 33 million subscribers in only 6 months. Pretty damn good. Apple reported yesterday. I did not get to go over this yesterday. I think I did a little bit because we saw it towards the end when I went straight to the news. But Apple reported revenue of $111 billion for Q4. That's up 21% year over year. That's the highest ever. $111 billion in revenue in 3 months, 90 days. The company's profit stood at about $28.7 billion. That's up 30% year over year. Despite the revenue expectation of 103, which it beat, revenue from iPhones increased 17%, and that was due to China because they had a 57% increase in China, in the China market, which they strangely gave this because they have a better developed 5G network. No, it's because they have more people and they have a bigger middle class. Facebook also reported earnings. Their revenue increased by 33% year over year to $28 billion. $11 billion for the Q4. And the company's revenue grew by 22% to $86 billion for the entire year. If I said that correctly, I may have written that down wrong. Daily active users were 1.81. Listen to this. It's a staggering statistic. 1.84 billion daily active users. Monthly active users were 2.8 billion. And that's an increase of about 11%. Although in the U.S., the daily active user count was actually down approximately about 1 million people from the previous quarter. So a lot of people jumping off Facebook. I don't know if that's because of politics or what. I would think that's probably what's leading them that way. Another interesting stat about Facebook's revenue call, their average revenue per user, right? So worldwide, average revenue per user is $10. In the U.S., it's about $53. That's the revenue per user. Europe it's set 17. In Asia Pac, which is China, for the most part, $4. Right. All right. Crypto markets. Let's get to them real quick. So we've got. Let's see what they've got. Bitcoin's back up to 33 again. It's got to trade between that 33 and 35 range for a while to get back to a bullish sentiment. That's my ever so perfect TA analysis. So with Bitcoin at 33, Ethereum's back up there at 1353, and Chainlink's at 23. Litecoin, not a great coin, but I know a lot of people do hold it. It's at 133. All right, crypto news. The city of Miami and the Estonian government. If you remember, was it Bitcoin Core had to take down the actual white paper, Satoshi's white paper about Bitcoin due to Craig Wright possibly suing him, the developer who runs that site, for copyright infringement. So the city of Miami and the Estonian government have uploaded the white paper to government servers, and also the Colombian federal workers uploaded a copy via AWS, and they are working on hosting that on a local server too. FinCEN has extended the comment. This is huge. FinCEN has extended the comment period again regarding its unhosted crypto wallet rules. Right, FinCEN announced this extension on Tuesday, saying that all comments were due within 60 days. So I believe it's going to go about 90 days, maybe even 120. This is, if you don't recall what those crypto wallet rules was, it's it's AML and KYC on both sides of the transaction. You got to know who's sending it and who's receiving it, right? And that, my friends, is BS. So, also in more fun today, former Goldman Sachs Lloyd Blankfein says that governments could ban Bitcoin if or when it becomes more dangerous. Again, we're talking literally my 3-year-old does this, right? If it's not his idea or he doesn't like it, I don't want to play. So what will they do? Ban it? I don't know if you can. There's a lot of people out there, maybe not in government, but a lot of people out there that's smarter than I. He went on to say, if I were a regulator, I'd be, hyperventilating at its success. So he went on to say, I'd be arming myself to deal with Bitcoin. He also briefly admitted to that Bitcoin can actually work. It actually could work as a store of value. Also, Fred Wilson's Union Square Ventures has essentially opened its 7th early stage venture fund. It's called the 2021 Core Fund, $250 million in capitalization, and they're focused on crypto investments, or maybe a third in crypto investments. I believe that's what it said specifically. Also, Barry Silbert, and congratulations to you. I want to commend you on this. His mining pool Foundry literally has jumped up to a top 10 mining pool, which we need far more mining pools in the top 10 in the U.S. or in different countries, because China, I believe, has close to 70%, 64% from last time I checked. Also, very interesting here, messaging app Signal. We all know Signal, the encrypted communications app, communitext, essentially, exploring the addition of payments. And some of those payments would include cryptocurrencies. Brian Acton created Signal and was a co-developer of WhatsApp, which Facebook acquired in 2017 for a couple $billion, right? So that is the news of the day. You're up to date. We are going to go straight to stock twits, and we're going to see what is trending as far as after hours here. AMC is still trending, GBR, Dogecoin, which I think they're trying to pump to 50 cents. It's pretty cool. SLV, NVAX, AAL, which is up 15% today. That's American Airlines. We talked about them. AG, USEG, GameStop, and DraftKings was up 3% today. It's got GameStop only down 11%. I don't know where they're getting that from. It's got AMC on here only down 30. Maybe that might be old. So let's go to messages. Same exact thing. Watchers, you got Nokia, Naked. So a lot of things going on. I encourage you to get on stocktwits.com. So let's go to the news after hours, if you would. I'm going to refresh this page, guys, first, so we make sure that we get it, because yesterday I did not refresh the page and we missed a few things. All right, here we go. We go quick. This is the real news, boys and girls. Vinger announces 14.4 million bought deal offering of common stock. Can you say dilution? AVGR. Drive Shack announces offering of 50 million of common stock DS. Man, dilution. These prices are so high and the demand is there that these companies are offering so much more shares, because when you trade stock, it's not going to the company. It's going to the people inside the company, but it's not filling the company's coffers, right? Even when the price goes way up. So Boeing has been downgraded to a sell at Nord LB. That's BA. U.S. Steel reports Q4 EBITDA 87 million versus 4 million last year. That's a good X. Earnings per share was 27. The consensus was going to be 68, so that's good X. No, that's not good. That is not good. They missed by 3X. Sorry about that. Eastman Chemical, CEO says Q4 driven in part by cost management, EMN. Their forecast for 21 EPS is up 20 to 30% from 2020 EMN. And Eastman Chemical reports Q4 EPS 169. The consensus was 150 EMN. Good for them. Glad to hear it. Murphy USA and Cormark renew strategic supply agreement. That is energy. There's a lot of energy today. We know Wall Street's top stories. We've talked about most of them. I want to add to that WEAG, MA, GSX, Levi, which a big hedge fund sized up on literally like a week ago. Like Monday night. NXGN. Let's keep it going here. Clorox announces change to board of directors. Here we go. Representative Waters calls for hearing on short selling online trading. I think we can all agree that something needs to be, it's not just it's the naked short selling. It's just the comprehensive, just cutting off of the retail trader that literally crashed the market, right? The naked short selling, how do you have 150% of the shares outstanding? That's crazy. I think we need to look at high frequency trading. I don't think it needs to go away. I do think it needs to be taxed. It needs to be slowed down a little bit because it does provide liquidity. So I do like that. It talks about what Robinhood limited buys on, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's over 12 stocks. Wow. Let's go on here and what's some big ones. SB Financial reports Q4 adjusted EPS of 77 cents. The estimate was 41 cents. They beat consensus, it looks like. Celanese sees first quarter 21 EPS. For the year 2021 this year, EPS right around 10. The consensus was 9.35, so they think they're going to beat that. That's CE. Midland States reports Q4 EPS 52. The consensus was 62. MSBI, they missed. Celanese sees Q1 EPS between 250 and 275, above consensus again. CE. Olin, this is, I believe that's energy. I could be wrong about that. Q1 adjusted EBITDA to improve sequentially from Q4. That's good. That's OLN. Live Oak, recent weakness of buying opportunity. It says one bank, LOB. I do not know the bank. Lazy Boy increases its quarterly dividend by 1 cent per share, LZB. Nice. Not a huge increase, but still. Novavax announces COVID vaccine 60% effective in the South African trial. That's NVAX. Now, they are based over in the UK. I don't know if we're really getting those over here. What else? Cantor Fitzgerald starts ICAD at overweight at $19 price target. ICAD. Lazy Boy. Dolby sees Q2 adjusted EPS 57 to 72. Consensus was 62, so it hit. DLB. Selective Insurance reports Q4 adjusted EPS $1.84. It beat consensus. SIGI. Houlihan Lokey. Board boosts size of share repurchase program to 200 million more. HLI. Here's why. Because their adjusted Q3 EPS was $1.77. The consensus was $1. They beat it. HLI. Celvaze, Novavax. That's what they're talking about here. More news for them. It's the same stuff, though, just different banks talking about it. Visa jumps nearly 2% to 202 after Q1 results. It's right at the end of the bell, or at the end of the trading day. After hours, if you would. Vertex says FDA approves IND application for type 1 diabetes treatment, VRTX. I know there was some hedge funds that sized up on them this month. That's probably what they were waiting on. So congratulations to the hedge fund. You know, that insider knowledge really does help. Even though we have biopharm catalyst that we use, that we pay for here, clearly the hedge funds could just make a call. And that's all that they do. So what else? More Visa. It says payment volumes are up 5%. Q1 transactions processed 39.2 billion. 8x reports Q3 EPS 2 cents since it was 3 cents. That's EGHT. That's a real small cap. Get some bigger one. Seacoast Banking's report Q4 EPS of 53. It beat consensus SBCF. Jack in the Box names Ryan Ostrom, new CMO. Jack, J-A-C-K. Skyworks, this is big, approves new $2 billion stock repurchase program. Nice. SWKS, you know stock's up. Cancer Genetics raises $10 million in private placement. CGIX. That is dilution at its finest, but they needed the money. They keep doing what they're doing. Adamas Pharmaceuticals to file to sell common stock. No amount was given. ADMP. I'll drop the stock for a little bit. Nanobiotics doses first patient with NBTXR3 in esophageal cancer. NBTX, guess I won't tell you the hedge fund, but there was a hedge fund that filed a 13G or a 13D. No, 13G today. That they had bought the stock 10 days ago in BTX, and now we know one. It's pretty impressive that that hedge funds and investment funds can do that. Elizabeth Warren says, hard to tell if GameStop is David versus Goliath narrative is true. Huh. Interesting there. MicroStrategy options imply 18.6% move in share price post earnings. MSTR. It's going to be good. I mean, when MSTR, you know, its average price that it's purchased all of its Bitcoins right around 15, 16K, and we're at 33. How can your earnings not be good when your reserve is killing it? That's it, guys. I've gone too long. Plus, we're getting into European stocks here. I don't really want to touch that. So, those are the big stories of today, guys. Appreciate you hopping on Wall Street, sizing up with me. Appreciate you guys watching me. I know I have a lot of views when I go live. I should probably do this by video, but I don't. I like to go live. I like just spout it out there and not have to go back and cut stuff up. So, with that being said, guys, have a great night. Watch your six. Go hard in the paint. Cheers. We'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.